Good morning, Restoration. It's Pastor Genette, and I'm glad to be here with you on week 2 of our series, Anxiety Attack Back. Now, last week we talked about what anxiety is, what anxiety is not, where it comes from, why I feel it's so pervasive today, and then I took you to the scriptures to teach you some timeless tools and techniques that you may not have seen were there. Well, this week specifically, I'm going to teach you how to handle your worries. I know you're going to get a lot out of this message today, so lean in and take some good notes. And one of the most common anxious feelings is called worry. That's one of the most common. That's one of the most common is worry. Everybody, who in here has any experience with the feeling of worry? Everybody in here probably should raise their hands, except if you're a baby or something. Except I said, if you're my kid, Faith. Everybody in here has that's common for you. So I just want to reduce it down to worry. I'm going to talk today and really isolate worry. Isolate that worry and really how to handle worry. Worry, let's talk about what worry is. Worry is a way of thinking. Everything is a way of thinking. Yeah. Worry is a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking. It's a dark, completely unproductive, counterproductive, sometimes irrational way of thinking. It's a state of anxiety and fret caused by allowing your mind to dwell on actual or potential trouble. Now, you can be worried, allowing your mind to dwell on a situation that's real. It's a real thing. If you get a diagnosis, or if you get a bill, or something, you got a sickness, or it's a situation. It's not something you're imagining in the future. It's real, right? Yeah. Okay, so some of the things are real. Some are things that have not happened yet. Some are things that someone has forecasted, or just a threat, or a what if, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But it is allowing your mind to dwell on actual or potential trouble. Actual or potential. The worry happens, the feeling happens when you focus on it, when you think about it, when you ruminate over it. Wow. That's when the feeling happens. The anxiety sets in. The fret sets in. Do you see? Yes. Whereas when you think about it, when you dwell on it, that's when the worry, the feeling, the anxiety, the fear, all of that sets in. The situation is not the problem. It's how you think about it that is the problem. Yeah. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Yes. So why do we worry? Has worry, Jesus asked the question, and I want to ask you today, has worrying added anything to your life? Has worry solved one problem for you? No. Then why do we worry? Wow. I want to give you an answer. There's an answer. It's not a rhetorical question. There's an answer. Wow. There is an answer. Because worry is an activity. Worry really is an activity. Worry actually takes energy. Did you know that? Have you at the end of the day you said, my mind is tired? Yep. Have you ever felt your mind being tired? Oh, yeah. It's because thinking takes energy. And worry is the kind of thought that there's some thinking that you can do, some thoughts that you can think that actually energize you. They actually give you energy. They actually energize you. But there's other thoughts that drain you, that create all kind of negative biochemical responses in your body. Yeah, it's called dark thinking. Yeah, it drains you. And worry is an activity because it's just a way of thinking. It's an activity, and it's an activity that drains you. Have you ever just worried yourself? They say you worry yourself sick. It's true. You can worry yourself sick. Right. And it's just a way of thinking. You're dwelling on a problem, a situation, a circumstance for so long it has set off some biochemical reactions in your body. Absolutely. Yes, it can make you sick. It makes you exhausted. It can start making you bend over because it's because it's activity. It's work. Worry is work. Wow. Worry is activity. Yeah. It's counterproductive activity. It doesn't produce anything good in your life. It does produce things, but nothing good. It doesn't solve the problem, but it's an activity. And so we worry because it's something to do when we can't do anything else. Wow. Wow. Worry is what we do to feel like we're doing something about what we cannot do anything about. That is why you worry. Wow. Because it's something to do. I got this big, huge bill that just came into the mail. I cannot pay it. I don't have the money to pay it. But we feel like we got to do something about it. We can't do anything about it. So we take up the activity of worry because it makes us feel like we're doing something about what we cannot do anything about. That is why we worry. Does that make sense to you? Yes. So I want to give you another strategy, another activity to do. Instead of the counterproductive, draining your energy, making you sick, making your anxiety worse, keeping answers and solutions that you need away from you. Come on, man. That's right. My goodness. Yeah, because answers come when your soul is at rest. Yeah. Come on. Amen. Okay? So if I give you something else to do, will you do it? Yes. All right. Two things to really end those anxious thoughts. And I get this from my professional practice, but also it's in the Word. It's what Paul was talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so give me 2 ways on how to handle your worry. Okay, the first thing I want to teach you is Philippians 4:6. Paul says, "Do not be anxious for nothing." Don't be anxious. Be anxious for nothing. But in all things with prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Yes. That's a technique right there. That's a technique. Let me show you how I practice it and how I have helped others to do this. This is what I know about worry. Worry is like a toddler. Worry is like a toddler. You got toddlers in your house. You got little kids. Of course, we've raised 6. I finally learned this as a mother. But when a toddler wants your attention, they're going to get your attention. They're going to get your attention. You can keep trying to pay the bills or cook or wash dishes or talk on the phone or whatever. They pull on your leg one time saying, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy." You just kind of swat them away, ignore them. They're going to get louder. "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy." Then they're going to knock something over. "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy." And they're just going to start crazy. "What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with me?" When they demand attention, and they're going to find a way to get it. Come on. That's how worry is in your life. Wow. It's demanding your attention. That situation, that circumstance is demanding your attention. Wow. And it's going to keep that thought. It's going to keep coming back. That circumstance is going to keep coming back to mind. It's just going to keep tempting you. It's going to keep bugging you until you stop and deal with it. Handle it. So I finally learned, and I try to teach other your kid is not bad. They want attention. And it doesn't even take long. You just stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing, whatever it is you're doing. If you're on the phone, tell your girlfriend you'll call them back or whatever. Yeah. Stop doing what you're doing. And then you just give them your attention. What you need, baby? Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, yeah, that's red and blue and green and yellow. I see that. Yeah, Mama see. Oh, turn the flip one more time. Oh, Mama see you. Oh, that's good. Good. Might take 5 minutes. They're going on about their business. You gave them attention. You can do your worries. That circumstance. Those thoughts. That's what I'm trying to say. Those thoughts, those foreboding thoughts, those what ifs. Those what ifs. Those what ifs. Those what ifs. Go ahead and handle it. Yeah. Go ahead and handle it. Okay? So this is what I do. This is what I practice. Okay? I got a situation, I got a circumstance, and I can tell that worry, those thoughts keep trying to come to me like a nagging child, trying to tempt me to ruminate over a situation I can't do anything over, to waste my energy with worrying, to waste my energy with what ifs, making me miss the present, what is, the peace, what is, and they keep trying to pull me into what if. I go ahead and handle it. Okay? So here's what I do. I actually write down the worry. Exactly. What am I worried? What is the worry? What is the situation? What is the circumstance? What is the anxious thought? And so I write it down. I write it down. I'm telling you how to handle, literally. Come on. I'm giving you another activity. Right? The situation is, we feel like we got to do something about it. Here's what to do instead of worry. Write it down. Whatever it is, and write for as long as you need to write. Get those thoughts, because those thoughts are trying to go somewhere. Put them on paper.
Come on.
Do y'all get what I'm saying? Good. They're trying to go somewhere. Go ahead and handle it. Put it on paper. Put the thoughts on paper. Write down the worry. Write it down. And then here's what I want you to do. I want you to flip that paper over. I literally practiced this. I was supposed to bring y'all my box, and I left the house and forgot it, and I'd have time to go back because I actually practiced this. So you write the worry down on one side of the paper. That's to get it out of your head onto paper. Yeah. Let it land somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then I want you to flip it over, and I want you to pray. I want you to write out your prayer, rather. Write it out. Write it out. It's really important. Make that request known to God. Write out that prayer. I want you to begin with thanksgiving. Thank him for what he's already done. Be generous with your thanksgiving, and then ask him for what you want concerning whatever the situation is. Y'all got me? And then, this is all you do. I want you to get you a box. I have a box at home. It's a pretty decorative box. It just looks like some decoration sitting on the credenza of my office. And it's pretty. But in that box are my worries, or what's trying to worry me. The situations, the circumstances, the thoughts that were trying to land in my head that I cannot afford to land in my head. I put it in that box. I put the top on it, and I say, it's handled. Every time that situation comes back, every time those what ifs try to land in my brain, they don't stop, they keep coming back. But every time those what ifs try to pull me out of what is, my God. Every time those what ifs come, I say, I've already handled you. I've already handled you. I've already dealt with you. I've already done something about you. I've already handled you. This activity keeps me out of the activity of worry. It keeps me out of the activity that will make me sick, that will get me stuck, that will have me depressed, that will bring me an anxiety attack. This activity keeps me out of that activity. Because we feel like we got to do something.
My goodness.
Do this.
Wow.
It's just one little technique. I use it. So how's that woman? She just seems like she's laughing and joking all the time. She always cracking jokes. It's not because I don't have situations and circumstances. That's right. I got them same buzzards flying over my head you got flying over yours. Yes. I'm just teaching you how to handle them. Come on. How to attack back.
Come on.
Second thing I want to teach you.
Come on.
Second thing another technique I want to teach you. Okay, anxiety happens when you focus on what if. What if at the source is what if thinking. Oh my goodness. Toya and her husband, thank God for them. They travel with my husband and me to, where did we just come from? Savannah, Georgia. To do some ministry there at a church in Savannah, Georgia. And so Toya was driving me, and I forgot about this bridge that you got to go over in Savannah. And Toya doesn't like bridges. I didn't. And then I know I don't like going up no big high bridge. I mean, I can deal with a bridge just like this. I don't deal with bridges that are like this, you know. So I see a distance. I said, oh, Lord. And then it made it worse. Toya said, oh, Lord. I'm like, hey, you don't like them either? I can't drive over the bridge. I mean, and then I felt it. I was like, ho, 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 ho. Palms started getting sweaty. And it made it, I probably would have been better if my husband had been driving me. He tells me don't say this, but when I'm with him, I kind of feel like I'm with God because he got nerves of steel. I would have been all right. But Toya was shaky. I'm shaky. She's shaky. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. Anxiety. And it attacked me. I said, whoa. I think I may have said, all right, let's attack back, Toya. This is how we're going to get across this bridge. We're going to focus on the car. We're not going to don't look at the bridge. Focus on the car, that license plate that's right behind you. Focus right there. I remember it was a white car, and I focused on the license plate. I couldn't focus on the bridge. I had to focus on the car that was right in front of me. But I felt it. My palms were sweaty. You know, I felt it. Because it was the thoughts of, it was what if? What if? What if? I can come up with all kind of what ifs. We start going up this bridge and the brakes, some go out and the car start going back off the bridge. Then what if? Yeah, see, it's irrational. What ifs? What ifs? What ifs? What ifs? What if this is just a moment that this bridge gives out and we all on this bridge and all across this water? I can't swim. And what ifs? And what ifs? What ifs? Do you see what I'm saying? Heart racing. I don't know what she was thinking about, but I know. I was very aware. I know it's my thoughts. Immediately, I went to what I'm about to teach you now. It's called grounding. Grounding. It's how you reel in those anxious thoughts because anxiety is caused by thinking. I'm thinking about something that is creating those feelings. And so for me to I've got to reel those thoughts from what if to what is. The quickest way to shift from thoughts that are out of control is to ground yourself in your senses. Now, when I say your senses, I'm talking about your 5 senses. Taste, touch, hearing. What's the other ones? Smell. I'm missing one. I don't know what the other one is. Feeling. Touch. This is touch. Tasting. Sight. There you go. Thank you. What you can see. Okay? So when you focus on what you can touch, now I'm focused on what I'm touching. I literally become aware. You can do either or. Okay? And so to reel in those thoughts of what if, I have to ground myself in the present moment by switching to my senses. When you're in tune with your senses, you're out of your head. The thoughts. Y'all get what I'm saying? You're out. That's how, I'm not saying this right, but it's how you reel in those what if thoughts to bring yourself or someone else, if you're working with them, to the present moment. You tune in to the 5 senses. Okay? You tune into the 5 senses. So the strategy I use with Toya, okay, when I looked at that big, tall bridge and I focused on the bridge and all them crazy what-if thoughts start getting out of control, I knew I had to ground myself in something that I could see, something else I could see. And so what I could see is the car right in front of me. Don't look at the bridge. Ground yourself in the present moment. We hadn't even got to the bridge yet.
That's good.
Ground yourself in right now, this moment. I said, all right, just focus on the car right in front of you.
Yeah, that's good.
And I didn't look up at the bridge one more time. I literally just focused. That's the reason why I remember the car was white. I probably could tell you the license plates that was on it. I was literally examining that car. I was just focusing. There's a white car in front of us. It's right in front of us. I focused on that car the whole time, keeping myself out of those what-if thoughts, grounding myself in the present moment. Then we got to cross the bridge. You see, without anxiety overtaking me, without me doing like I have done in times past, pull the car over till I get myself together. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. On a plane, it looks like this for me. I'm using myself as examples to show you how this works. Okay? On a plane, it looks like this. Not often. Sometimes I'll feel panic, get like a panic attack. I know it's because I don't even know, something triggers it to make my mind, my thoughts go into some crazy what if thoughts. I don't know. But I know I have gone into the what if realm. I've gone into the what if realm, and here we go. Heart racing, feeling like I need to escape. I need to get off this thing right now. But start feeling all the physical reactions, the sweating, my heart racing. I need to use the bathroom or whatever. It's thoughts. I got to pull my thoughts from that what if to the present moment.
Yeah.
I go to my senses.
Yeah.
I love it when my husband travels with me because he's my touch. Mm-hmm. So I grab his hand. Have you become aware that I'm doing that?
Mm-hmm.
You are?
Yeah.
I grab his hand and I focus on his hand. I touch. I go to my senses. I just touch. I feel the warmth of his hand. I feel his hand. Sometimes I just kind of look at it. I ain't just all in there. Ain't no admiration. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to survive and get off this plane in the air and get to where I'm going. I promise. But I can't do that with a stranger. The stranger be like, oh, excuse me. I'll be like, did your mama give you this ring? I can't be rubbing on the stranger's leg. I can't. Sometimes, or I can go to smell. Just smell my husband. Oh, that's a good cologne. You see? I can go to smell. Oftentimes, I'll go to my hearing. Take them earbuds out. Go to my hearing. Put some in my ear to hear. You see, I'm grounding myself. I'm pulling in those crazy, out-of-thought feelings. Reeling in those what-if, out-of-control feelings back to the moment through my senses. Yeah. This is the reason why when somebody's out of control, sometimes you got to slap them. What did you just bring them to? Touch. Yes, ma'am. You bring them to touch. You literally brought them to their senses.
Yeah.
So they can feel. Because their thoughts were out of control. You say, hey. Mm-hmm. When somebody else is out of control, use this technique with them. Bring them to what they can see. Look at me. Mm-hmm. Look at me. Mm-hmm. Look at me. I practiced this the other day with somebody. I said, look at me. Because I could tell their thoughts were going out of control. Look at me. Yeah. Now breathe. Mm-hmm. Listen to your breath. Bring them to their senses. Because their thoughts are out of control. Mm-hmm. Do y'all understand? Yes. It's called grounding. You can do the same thing with yourself. Yes. When you feel those thoughts, what ifs that are creating all of these anxiety feelings for you. You can use these techniques. You can attack back. Yes. Another way of thoughts are just incessant thoughts. Another quick strategy is to go to verbalization, which is also hearing. Mm-hmm. And so you speak it opposite of whatever it's saying to you. Yeah. You see? This is where the things that the verbal affirmations that we said. Speak something out loud. Yes. Speak it out loud so you can hear it. Yeah. Speak it out loud. All it is doing is reeling in those crazy, out of control thoughts that are creating negative feelings for you. Okay? Which can create responses that make the matter worse for you. Okay? But you gotta be tuned in to what you are thinking. You can learn how to switch. You can learn how to shift those thoughts. Does that make sense? Yeah. You can learn how to shift those thoughts. Yeah. So when anxiety attacks you, you can attack back. You are in way more control than you think, or you have way more control than you just don't know it. But I hope this has helped you. Yes. Has this helped you? Yes. Yeah, yes, it's helped you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's all just thoughts.
Yes.
It's just thoughts.
Yes.
Come on, say, there's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with me.
There you go. The devil wants you to think something's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Come on.
Now, if you don't learn how to do some of these things I'm teaching you, this stuff can grow into conditions because negative thinking, this all science, negative thinking, it can create, you probably know this better than I do, all these ruts in the brain and dark stuff. And yeah, they turn into conditions, y'all, really. What the Bible calls strongholds.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can bring them down. You can recondition
Yes, you can.
the brain through renewing the mind. You can rewire your brain through renewing your mind. That's why Romans 12 says, be transformed by the renewing the mind of thinking, your thoughts. Yeah, I want you to begin thinking about what you're thinking. When you feel an emotion, start thinking about what you're thinking.
Come on.
When you feel an emotion,
Yeah.
think about what you're thinking. You'll say, oh, God, I'm feeling this way because I'm thinking this way.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all got it?
Got it.
Y'all got it. Come on, praise God. Let's give God some praise. That's all I got for you. That's all the lesson I have. This is a classroom. Well, I hope you learned a lot this morning and gained some insight and some tools that you will use this week. If anxiety attacks you, you're going to attack back.